How often do you recognize the importance of something, knowing that it should be a part of your life, but you blow it off anyways? What excuses do you use? That you don't have enough time, that it's not even worth it, or that it's too much to handle? I've definitely used all three of these excuses and many more. Maybe you'll say something like, "It's not that big of a deal," or "I'll get to it eventually." What is it that you've been blowing off? Is it a simple action you need to take? Is it a habit you need to make? Or is it a passion you need to pursue? A big one for me is setting goals. Yes, I've set goals in the past, but everything was subconscious, so I didn't have a way to track progress. I wasn't too sure about the effectiveness that setting and pursuing goals the right way really had. When I found out that I could choose the topic of research for one of my final projects, I knew I wanted to dive deep into learning about goals. The research question I started with is this: how can goal setting affect habits, productivity, and results in life? The argument to make out of this is that we should be setting, pursuing, and achieving goals in order to live a purposeful and intentional life. The funny thing is, I was using this entire research project to convince myself why I needed to take action on goal setting and to show me the best, scientifically proven ways to do so. My preliminary research confirmed why I should start setting goals. But I actually didn't start the process until I learned the most effective way of doing so. I recently accomplished this, effectively implementing goal setting into my life. Now I'm here to do the same for you, or to at least change the way you go about setting and pursuing goals. Whoa. I don't expect you to just take my word for everything, so I'm going to let the top 10 most valuable takeaways from my scholarly research guide our conversation today. And the first takeaway is that goal setting is the move. My scholarly research clearly showed me that I need to implement a goal setting process into my life, and I don't want to bore you with all the statistics, numbers, and studies. I'm going to cut right to the chase and give you the conclusion statements from this research. So what can setting goals do for you? Let's see. They trigger new behaviors. They help guide focus, sustain momentum in life. They motivate us. They help us develop strategies to perform at a high level. They give us a roadmap to follow. They help us define what we truly want in life. They help us prioritize. They can markedly improve performance at any given task. They can help our mental health. They can elevate our level of success personally and professionally. They can help us live the life that we truly want to live. These conclusion statements are true. They're done from scholars, and I just want to reaffirm and show the importance of why this is so important and what you can really benefit and how you can just take control of your life and get to where you really want to be who you want to be, do what you want to do. This bee is trying to attack me. I don't like that. I'm trying to get serious with you. But you might just be looking at me like, all right, I get it. Just tell me what I need to do now. And I'm going to get to that soon, and we'll spend most of our time there working through how we can do this and what we need to do. But first, I need to share with you a couple things I found while researching that I believe you must understand before you start setting goals. So this brings me to my second takeaway, which is understand the opposition. Now, I never knew there was negative claims on goal setting until I read the scholarly article, Goals Gone Wild. These scholars argue that in many situations, the damaging effects of goal setting outweigh the benefits. They say that goals can go wild by focusing your attention too narrowly, motivating risk-taking, and luring people into unethical behavior. Now keep in mind that these scholars understand and believe the effects of goal setting. They're just shining light on a different perspective for some specific situations. They clearly state what is true at the beginning of their articles, and they show that they understand the importance, but they say in specific situations they can go wild and damaging effects can outweigh the benefits. So the key thing to take away from this is that there should be balance in goal setting. You don't want to set too many goals to where you're overwhelmed, but you also aren't going to only focus on goal setting in one specific area of your life and become narrow-minded on it. Goal setting can be applied to any area of your life that you want to improve upon, so utilize that. Consider physical, mental, spiritual, financial, emotional, professional, and relational aspects of your life, because balance is key. Now that we understand this, it's time to get into the good stuff. I recommend you start taking notes now. So takeaway number 3 is that to get started, you need a few things physically and mentally. So physically, you're going to need to get a journal that you're only going to use for this purpose. Journal, paper, note, something that you can physically write down in, just something that you can focus this on and not have other stuff. There's a quote from my research: writing your goals down doesn't only help you remember them on a deeper level, it makes your mind more efficient by helping you focus on the importance of them. Make sure you're actually writing these things down, all right? So mentally, make sure you're in a confident, positive, and excited mood. Do not start the process with any negativity, fear, or doubts. Researchers found that the motivational impact of goals may be affected by one's ability and self-efficacy, which is one's belief that they can achieve something. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be confident. This has to be something you're excited about. You can't start in a place where this is already something you're dreading or this is going to be hard. I don't know about this. You got to be serious, excited, motivated, and glad you're doing this to take control of your life and do what you really want to do. So once you're in the right state of mind, consider your values. What do you want to obtain, experience, or feel in your life? This will make it easier to create goals that match your values and desires. So this takes me to takeaway number 4, which is follow the S.M.A.R.T philosophy. What is the S.M.A.R.T philosophy? I'm so glad you asked. This is where we get to understand the very important, valuable things there is to know about goal setting the right way. So each letter has a meaning in S.M.A.R.T, and we're going to start off with S, obviously, and that stands for specific. Clarity is power. Researchers found that setting specific, clear goals eliminates the confusion that occurs when goals are set more generically. That just makes sense. Set a goal that you know exactly what you want to accomplish with, why you're doing it, and be specific and clarify this. Now, M stands for measurable. Make sure you're able to track the progress with the goals that you are going to create. For goals to be effective, people need summary feedback that reveals the progress in relation to their goals. After measuring our progress, we are then able to adjust the level of effort or performance strategies to match what the goals require. So moving on to A stands for attainable. Believe you can achieve. This is so big. If it's too big of a leap for yourself, you won't believe you can do it, which will then lead to you not achieving it. A study that researched the relationship of goal difficulty to performance found that the highest level of effort occurred when the task was moderately difficult, and the lowest levels occurred when the task was either very easy or very hard. Consider that when you're creating your goals. A moderately difficult goal should lead to the highest level of effort if you believe that you can achieve it. Now moving on to R, this stands for realistic. Realistic to some extent. Like I said, not too easy, not too hard. Moderately difficult is the sweet spot for high performance. And T in S.M.A.R.T, the last letter, stands for timeline. This is the deadline for your goal. If you don't have a deadline for completion, then it's less of a goal and more of a hope or dream. Deadlines serve as a time control mechanism to increase the motivational impact of your goals. This basically just means that they help identify when you should be slowing down and pacing yourself, or when you should be investing more time and effort into completing the task. Now that we understand the S.M.A.R.T philosophy, we can move on to takeaway number 5, which is writing your goals. Write your specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable goal with a timeline in one complete sentence. As you write this goal, make sure it is languaged in a way that empowers and excites you. For example, don't use I want. Instead, use I will, I am, or I have. Your goal may look something like this. I will easily lose at least 10 pounds by December 31st this year. After you've written your goals, underneath each one, write the purpose that it serves. Write down why you want to achieve it. List actual reasons why it's important. Remembering this significantly helps you stick to the action plans at times when you really don't want to do something, and trust me, that will happen. I'm sure you know that. Oftentimes, it's remembering the deeper meaning of why we need to do something that actually gets us to do it. So speaking of the action plan, let's talk about that. Takeaway number 6, the action plan. After you write down the purpose for these goals, you're now going to want to write the action plan, which is all the actions you need to take to achieve this goal. You're going to want to take this big goal and break it down more and more and more to where it's daily things, to where it's what you're doing before, after. Very specific is key here. So make sure you know which actions are the most important priorities that will help the most to get you on track to achieve the goal. The more specific you are with your action plan, the more likely you are to follow through with it. There are several ways you can make an action plan more specific. You can write down how many times a week you will take a certain action and on which days you will be doing so. You can match actions to specific times in the day. You can write what it is that you will be doing before or after your action. Or you can replace a bad habit or something you're going to stop doing with an action. These actions are things that you need to commit to. Remember, you are committing to them because the purpose you have for achieving this goal. Remember the purpose, keep the bigger picture in mind, and once you start building this discipline, nothing's going to be able to stop you. You believe you can achieve, you're making the commitment, you're on track, you got it. All right, we're good. Let's move on to takeaway number 7 without this bee flying in my face, which is goal commitment. How do you enhance goal commitment? So Latham, which is a big researcher of goals, Latham and Locke, Edwin A. Locke, this is like the god of goals. Like this guy's researched it for like 40 years. But these guys claim that factors found to enhance goal commitment falls in 2 broad categories. 1 is being convinced that the goal is possible, and 2, being convinced that achieving the goal is important. So you have to believe it's possible, and you have to believe that it is important. So we've kind of already covered that, but I just want to re-emphasize and show you why this is so important. Latham states that commitment refers to the degree which the individual is attached to a goal, considers it significant or important, and is determined to reach it. If you follow all the goal setting steps that we've been going through, then goal commitment shouldn't be an issue, but it's one of the hardest parts. So make sure you're doubling down, focusing, and committing yourself to these things. So there's a couple more things I want to highlight the importance of, which brings me to takeaway number 8, self-efficacy. People with high self-efficacy are far more likely than those with low self-efficacy to develop effective task strategies. So self-efficacy, this big word that I don't like saying, is defined as the belief and confidence in your own abilities. Not only does the confidence in yourself allow you to develop more effective task strategies, it serves as motivation to do what you say you're going to do and to not give up or fall off track. So keep that in mind. Confidence in your own abilities. Trust, belief, you got this. Don't doubt yourself. No negative emotions. You're on track to living the life that you truly want to live. So you have to have the belief that you can do it, and you will do it. Takeaway number 9 is feedback. We already covered the importance of feedback and your goals being measurable, but we need to make sure that we have an idea of how this is going to work so that we don't forget about it. Because this is very important and this is something we might blow off. I don't want you to pick and choose what things are important when I'm talking about all these very valuable and important things with goal setting. I want you to follow every single one, and you're really going to reap the benefits, and you're really going to start to see the growth, momentum, and change starting to happen. So don't forget this part right here. There isn't necessarily a right or a wrong way to do the whole feedback thing, but as long as it serves the purpose of evaluating your progress. Reviewing weekly how you were not able to follow through on action tasks can help pinpoint adjustments that need to be made. Monthly revision can be extremely helpful as well. You might evaluate yourself by answering the following prompts. What did I complete last month that I'm proud of? What does the progress look like on one habit or action task that I focused on last month? What am I not so proud of with last month's performance? How can I adapt, or what should I continue to build on for more discipline to be added? Alright, final takeaway number 10 is that nobody ever said this was gonna be easy. This final takeaway is not based off something I found in my research, but something I did not find. No one said it was gonna be easy. No one said there were shortcuts. Achieving a challenging goal should not be easy, but if you follow through all the steps and things that I presented to you, and you really commit yourself to them, this will substantially increase the odds that you achieve your goal. Don't click off this video thinking that this is something you should do soon or that you might take action on it at some point. I know you have a pen and paper near you somewhere. Rewind the video back to takeaway number 3 if you need to and write this stuff down. Make commitments instead of just being motivated. I'm here to go through the process with you. I'm about 1 month in on achieving the goals that I've set for myself, and let me tell you, the commitment to my action plan has built more discipline than I've ever had before. I don't want to just be the guy that motivates you. I want to experience growth with you. I want to provide value through real life successes and failures. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see more content on pursuing goals and taking action on our action plans. This is a possible series I would consider doing. Living out our action plans and sharing the experiences together would be really cool in my opinion, but you gotta tell me if that's something you're interested in. Man, if you've made it all the way here to the end of the video, I just want to say that I love you and I am excited for you to start seriously pursuing your goals with me. But don't forget, you are capable. Let's go. It's time to work out. That bee is plotting. And I recommend you might start want to take... Now this takeaway. Oh, that's such a cute dog. Oh my. I don't like that dog. He's pissed.